Well, hello, everybody. Please join. Hello. Welcome to the webinar, this webinar. I hope you are having a great week. I hope you're having a great summer. The weather is not very good now, but well, hello, everybody. Okay, yeah. Let's see how many people we have. Okay, only 2 people. Let's wait for some more people to join us. Not a lot of people. Victoria, hello. I see you are here. That's very nice to see you on our weekly webinar. You can write in the chat or type in the chat what plans do you have for this weekend, and what are you going to do the rest of the week, with the rest of the week? Just for me to check whether the chat works or not. Hello. No. Okay, Ksusha, hello, great. Hang out with my friends, cool. That's cool. I also will hang out with my friends. I will a little bit work. Any other plans? I'm waiting for my car. Okay, from Germany, that's cool. Really nice. Okay, good. So if we speak about our webinars, I would like to mention that first we will have like our typical webinar. We are going to have some kind of back channeling. So I will ask some questions. So please type in the platform chat, because I won't check YouTube chat, but please use your platform chat. It's important for me. After that, we are while having our webinar, we are going to have the usual webinar, and after the webinar, we are going to have a Q&A session, so question and answer session. So while having this webinar, please take down some questions when you have for me. And after that, you can type these questions in the chat box, and maybe we will have 10 or 5 or 7 minutes after the webinar to answer your questions. So please, you are welcome always to type something in the chat box for me to answer. Okay, good. Let's check who's hello. Okay, hello, everybody. Yeah, hello. Dasha, yeah. Maybe we'll go to the forest. Oh wow, interesting. Barbecue or picnic is always a good idea, especially when the weather is good. Okay, good. So if we are going about today's webinar, can you please type in the box what ideas or what comes to your mind for the first time when you hear time management? So if we speak about me, the first that springs to my mind is procrastination, or how badly sometimes I can manage my time. It's a real problem for me. Usually when I have a lot of work, I get tired very often, and it's always a problem for me to be productive. So that's why it's a problem. Let's check what you have. We have more people with us. That's good. Okay, good. Let's start. So, about the agenda. Pencil in, please, pencil in the agenda of today's webinar. We are going to have a little bit chat box discussion about time management. After that, we are going to have a look at the techniques that are usually used to become more productive. After that, prioritizing techniques, especially with the help of the Eisenhower box. And we are all masters of procrastination, and we are going to have a look a little bit at procrastination itself. But before going to this interesting topic, have a look, please, at the stats that a 70-year-old person has at the end of his life. What he or she most spends time on. So always remember that 70 years old, yeah? Out of the 70 years old, we spend about 24 or 23 to 22 years on sleeping and standing. Can you imagine, like, standing 24 years we spend on that? After that, we spend a little bit more on sitting and walking itself, and on some basic and fundamental stuff that usually goes at the bottom of our pyramid of needs. We spend on working, walking, eating, and stuff like that. And less and less, about 5 or 6 years we spend on public transport, on our commute, on seeing dreams, and talking or listening to, especially listening to other people. Yeah, sitting on the lectures while watching this webinar. Yeah, you spend about 5 or 6 years of your life. And now it seems to me we spend about 5 years on surfing through the social media, or surfing through the Instagram or any other social media. Yeah, so we spend about, it seems to me, 6 years when speaking about our nowadays or today's reality. Yeah, and it's kind of cool. One interesting stuff I would like to mention about flirting. Yeah, flirting, we spent about 1 year on flirting. Can you imagine that? Or women spend about 2 years, it seems to me, twice more than men on flirting. Having a runny nose when you are sick, when you caught a cold, when you suddenly caught a cold, you spent also about 1 year. Yeah, and um, getting dressed, we spend more than 2 years. Can you chat in the box, especially the girls who spend a lot of time in the morning when you decide what you are going to wear this day? So can you type how much time do you spend on this activity? And let's check the statistics itself. Cool. I spend like okay, a schedule organizing your life. Okay, good, good. So cool. I spend about 20 from 20 to 25 minutes on getting dressed. It's a problem, especially when the weather is not very good. I spend a lot of time on that. I like all women. I like all women. Yeah. Okay. Crying 50 days, but let's have less days on crying, more days on laughing. Yeah. Cool. So if we talk about time management and time management techniques, can you type in the box what are your secrets of your time management? What are your advice or pieces of advice that you can give me? Or what is the key for your time management, for organizing your time? For example, when we speak about my key to time management is, of course, planning my day at the end of the previous day. Yeah, like I finished or completed all my tasks. I in the evening I sit, take the piece of paper, or take my planner. I don't have planners. I don't have like pretty stuff for women. I have just a single piece of paper. The torn, it's how to say, the dirtiest or the more used it is, the better. For me, it's like it shows how productive I am, yeah, throughout the day. That's why I use the piece of paper which is torn, which is bad, and it doesn't look pretty, it doesn't look nice. So I use this piece of paper, like beaten by life, beaten by your life, and I use this, and I usually plan in the evening, so it doesn't take me a lot of. Okay, oh wow, Karina, very nice. I don't usually ask 20, 20, 30. Yeah, okay, very good. Oh, girls. Okay, great. So I plan ahead. Yeah, when is Karina wrote that she decides what to wear in the evening, I write and I plan what to do in the evening. So before the beginning of the day. I will explain you why. That's because when I go to bed, when I lie in bed and start planning, I can't fall asleep, and it causes insomnia. That's why I stopped doing that. And in the morning, I don't plan because I don't have time to plan. That's why. Oh, wow. Yeah, Dasha, very good. Cool. Nice. Great. Oh, something happened with my just. Okay, yeah. When speaking about time management techniques and time management itself, time management is the process of planning or exercising your control over the amount of time that you spend on specific activities, on your milestones, on your agenda and timetables. It's done, and this area of studying exists because people want to be more efficient, more productive during the day. The techniques itself are the tools that you use to optimize or to organize your time in the most effective way, in the most effective way that's possible. And that's why. Speaking about you, are you, especially you, good at time management, managing, and are you effective throughout the day? And about your secrets, we have talked about. Maybe somebody else can add interesting facts. Interesting fact about your time management. Okay, good. Masha, very nice. Oh, wow, interesting, Masha. We are going to talk about difficult things first in a minute. Good. Very good. So when speaking about the techniques, okay, when speaking about the techniques, I would like to start with the quote. Most people overestimate what they can get done in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. What do you think? Who said this quote? Can you type in the chat box? So this famous piece of wisdom was said by a very famous person, Bill Gates. And it holds it holds the real truth of our nature, because we tend to plan a lot, but after that oh my God, it's a lot. I couldn't do it. I couldn't manage to do that. But we don't think about how we can break it into the pieces. We tend to overestimate what we can get done in a day, but underestimate what we can accomplish in a year. So how do we get around this quirk of human psychology? How do we make consistent progress toward our biggest goals without drowning day to day in our overly optimistic to-do lists? That's really a problem. Sometimes I tend to overplan, and I understand that it's a lot. I couldn't manage to do it, and at the end of the day, of course, I didn't do it, and at the end of the day I realized that, wow, that was a lot. Of course I didn't do it. So how do we overcome this mental resistance that comes with big goals and just get started? The answer is deceptively simple. And the memorable name productivity is called, somebody said in the chat, yeah, I'm bad. Okay. Somebody said in the chat, Masha. Yeah, Masha said about this technique. Do you know the name of this technique to do the most difficult tasks at the beginning of the day? Chat in the type box. Yeah, so this is called Brian Tracy's Eat the Frog technique, time management technique. So eating the most unpleasant frog that is on your plate. That's the reason. And the answer is really simple. Sometimes we have a very difficult and unpleasant task, so we have to pay attention to this task and try to overcome this task at the beginning of the day or at the beginning of your working shift. It's perfect for anyone who struggles with over procrastination, gets a lot done but isn't making progress on the important stuff, has a hard time sticking to a productivity system, has trouble deciding what to work on at any given time, and feels overwhelmed by their to-do list. Sometimes you feel really overwhelmed with what you want to do. Of course, everybody at some point or to some extent is a perfectionist and we want to do a lot, and these tasks are really difficult because nowadays with the kind of load of information that we have, we need to do more. That's why the tasks are getting bigger and bigger. They are getting more complicated and entwined with each other, so you have to spend a lot of time on doing them. That's why we feel really overwhelmed by that. So how to eat? How to eat this frog? It's very simple. First of all, you have to identify this unpleasant, dirty frog that you have. After that, eat it. Do your most important task first thing in the morning. Don't give yourself the chance to put it off for later. That's eating your frog. After that, you have to repeat it every day. And you'll be amazed how quickly small steps taken consistently add up to big accomplishments. Step by step, you will understand and you will realize that you're, like, first of all, unbelievable and unachievable goals that you thought, after that, how they are accomplished. Because every day you repeated the same activity, you ate the frog first thing in the morning, and after that you just everything went with the flow. Everything was smoothly done throughout the day. That's a frog. Can you type in the chat box whether you tried this technique and was it successful or not? Speaking about me, I tried this technique very often, and I try it today. I practice eating my frog every day in the morning. Sometimes I procrastinate in the morning, and after that, I understand that I needed to. Well, if I had done this task in the morning, first time in the morning, I would have had more time to spare, more time to hang out with my friends. That's why sometimes I feel sorry for or blame myself for not eating my frog first time in the morning. Morning is difficult. Morning is the most unpleasant part of the day. That's why we have to somehow add the frog to our dirty gray morning. Okay. Another technique is task batching. Any ideas? What can it mean, task batching? Can you type in the chat box about task batching? What's that? What does it mean? For me, it's like task batching. Maybe let's have a look. So task batching is the act of batching similar tasks together and doing them all at once, rather than addressing them sporadically throughout the day, just like scattering all the tasks throughout the day. Even if you have this frog, sometimes you can have not only one frog. Sometimes you can have several frogs. That's why task batching can be applied there. By focusing solely on a single job, whether it's replying to emails or filling out your expenses or doing your homework or doing your homework for your additional clubs or classes, you are able to create a more concentrated workflow, minimize distractions and procrastination, and pay more attention to details. That's a very important stuff, because sometimes we can multitask, sometimes we can do the task and then understand that you have done it, but you understand that it's not high quality, it's not how the task should be done. Yeah, it's not the proper thing to do. That's why task batching really helps us. Many of us sit down at our desks each morning with the intention of task batching or simply multitasking. We plan to plow through our new emails, only replying to the important ones, and protect 2 hours of unbroken focus time to work on an important task. Sadly, most of the time, we don't actually end up doing this. In our hyper-connected world, in our globalized world, where everything is entwined, where everything is concentrated and rolls around internet, rolls around different people, we develop a habit of context switching, flitting between different tasks and juggling various duties simultaneously, and failing to focus fully on a single one. That's why we just simply juggle with our tasks and we don't do anything properly and properly done. The aim of task batching is to break this cycle, is to get out of this vicious circle of multitasking, of doing the part of this job and the part of this job and the part of this task. Yeah, the initial aim of this technique, yeah, time management technique, is to get out of this vicious circle. It's so effective because it creates structure around wedges of time, allowing you to commit to one specific task without constant interruption. As the Zeigarnik effect also proves, task batching allows us to capitalize on the power of momentum, to be mindful, satisfying our biological drive to see tasks through to completion. It also drastically reduces multitasking, one of the single biggest killers of productivity. Multitasking is not good at all. Yeah, it only hinders our productivity, our efficiency. But task batching is a great activity, technique to rearrange tasks in such a way that you become 100% productive. So what work, the main question, what work can we batch with this technique? One big perk of this task batching is its versatility, or being versatile. It can be used effectively for both productive, deep work and unproductive, shallow work. Yeah, deep work and shallow work, just a floating one. Things like shallow works, things like you don't need, kind of not very important, but still you need to do them. For example, like checking your emails, going through them, going through the messages, editing or checking your essays, checking your compositions, rereading something, brainstorming, planning. Yeah, they can be batched successfully. Helping you in the same time to access flow states, which enable your peak productive performance. Things like meetings are also good to batch. That way, you don't get continually interrupted throughout the day, and you are able to protect time for your deep work. So, however, as for the multitasking, task batching isn't helpful for everything. If you are working on a highly creative or complex task, taking any type of cognitive shortcut isn't advisable. Plus, attempting to stack several detailed and high intensity tasks back to back can quickly lead to burnout. If you are working on a creative task, so please be careful. Be careful that you have to do this task in you don't need to batch. You don't need to stack several things together. You just need to be immersed, to be plunged in your process. That's why not a good idea. It's also not a good idea to batch new tasks, and it's important to take the time to get the hang of the work first. So if you are given some new task, if you are given the task that you haven't developed the habit of, or you are not the hostage of your habit, don't do it automatically. So please be careful. Don't try to batch. And don't batch tasks when you are tired, either as your focus will already be compromised and your work might not be up to standard. So don't when you feel exhausted, when you feel that your eyes are burning, when you feel that your head is whirling with different stuff, and you are stuffed with different things, so don't batch. It's not a good idea to do. Be careful. Okay. Have you heard about the Pomodoro technique? Another interesting thing. Category. Okay. I will check your. Too often. Okay, yeah, Vika. Yeah, sometimes it's not for everybody. So you just choose the time management technique that is perfect for you. That is the best technique for you. Always choose something that really appeals to you, that really helps you. Because sometimes, for example, for me, delegating something or batching doesn't help, but help planning my day before. But this batching, it doesn't help. Multitasking also doesn't help. So be careful with that. Not for everybody. Good. Let's look at what you've got. Okay. Okay, yeah, I didn't practice it yet. Oh, yeah, I think actually no. Good. So the Pomodoro technique is a time management system that encourages people to work with the time they have rather than against it. So that's why we have this timer for boiling the eggs. It seems to me, yeah, you just set the timer and it goes off when your food is ready, or when when something is sorted in the kitchen, or when something is being prepared in the kitchen. So using this method, you break your work day into 25-minute chunks separated by 5-minute breaks. Like Da Vinci worked, it seems to me, is intermittent or interval work. These intervals are referred to as pomodoros. After about 4 pomodoros, you take a longer break of about 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, so you have to have the break between these two main clusters of your working day or of your working process. The idea behind this technique is that the timer instills a sense of urgency. Yeah, you are always in a hurry, yeah. Rather than feeling like you have endless time in the workday to get things done and then ultimately squandering those precious work hours on distractions. You know, you only have 25 minutes to make as much progress on the task as possible. Additionally, the forced breaks help to cure that frazzled, burnout feeling most of us experience toward the end of the day. But it seems to be, I have tried this technique, and whenever it's like, it doesn't work for me, can you write in the chat whether it can work for you when you are working under pressure, especially under pressure of time? Can you type in the chat box whether it will work for you or not? Because I usually, when I'm under pressure, I tend to feel this pressure. I tend to be in a hurry, and I usually do somehow, yeah, this work very kind of to get it done, just to check the box or just to cross something out, yeah, just a pro forma, yeah. That's why I can't do that. Usually some of my tasks as being the teacher, they involve some kind of creativity. That's why I can't work under pressure, especially under pressure of time. After that, I blame myself that this time has gone, I don't have time. Sorry, I don't like that. That's why. Okay, where have we stopped? It's impossible to spend hours in front of your computer without even realizing it, as that ticking timer reminds you to get up and take a breather. Yeah, so your shift has ended, you stand up, have a breather, unwind a little bit, do some exercise, and go on. The concept of keeping such detailed track of my workday seemed a little cumbersome. So I downloaded a Pomodoro timer on my phone. Yeah, so when we can have some kind of perks of our mobile phones, and you can install a Pomodoro timer here. A lot of people recommend to, if you are planning something, so try also kind of this technique. It can help you even in the gym when you do it. So taking the results, I have found the result of one blogger who used this Pomodoro technique for the productivity. So let's have a look at her results. So the hypothesis is that people think that it's not very productive to have these breaks and to work under pressure of time. But actually, a lot of people end up liking this method. That's why it's worth implementing in your life. And it's, of course, worth implementing and trying to, if you want to kick your productivity up a notch. Yeah, if you want to kick the butt of your productivity. So this blogger, she felt really productive, super productive, and focused on her work during the day. And she was eager to get as much completed during the 25-minute interval as she could. She didn't find her juggling with her distractors. She didn't find her mindlessly scrolling through Facebook, through social media, and through these clickbait YouTube videos. That's why she was totally zoned in on the project in one hand. Yeah. like that. I wanted to, I wanted also to talk about the drawbacks of this technique. So the drawbacks, uh, drawbacks is it seems to me that the main drawback is when you have some planned or fixed meetings, when you have fixed calls or lessons, you can't somehow feel free you can't feel free to have these shifts, to have these intervals throughout the day. It's not like you can't say I will be back in 5 minutes because I have a break. When you have it's no use here. So you need somehow to plan this technique before some fixed or arranged meetings or calls or lessons or whatever that you can have. So it's better to just put off the timer. It's better not to pay attention to this timer, because it will only distract you and you won't be focused during your productive day, or productive or working process. But still, it can sound a little bit weird, but still you can try it and type in, and after that type in the chat box during the next webinar that how it went. How whether it went well, or you were surprised, or you were productive, like that. Another, surprisingly, multitasking. Multitasking can also be a very good time management technique. It's a little bit similar to task batching, but multitasking should be always wise. Let's have a look. What means multitasking? Multitasking normally is considered to be less effective, less efficient and less effective than doing a single and focusing on a single task, because your brain needs to adjust when navigating different tasks. It also is known as switching from task to task and shifting its back and forth. Switching, this process of switching, makes you tired, exhaustive. It drains your energy. It makes your energy to drain, and it makes you unproductive. Distractions, when you see your notification while working or studying, when you see the notification on your phone, and after that you switch to this notification, forget about what you were doing or what you were thinking of, and you spend I don't know how much time, but you spend a great deal of time on remembering what you were thinking about. So it's not wise multitasking. But strategically and technically, multitasking is a very good time management technique when you buffer your time for good. For example, I will explain you. Multitasking is good when the areas of your brain, when drastically different areas of your brain are involved. For example, when you involve listening and physical exercises. So two drastically different parts of your brain are involved together. Listening, your hearing, sense of hearing, and your physical, so your hands, that's a drastically different part of your brain, part of your brain ability, it's called, areas of your brain. That's why the neural pathways are not clogged up simultaneously, and you perform this task, listening, and physical task with the same productivity, with the same quality, with the same efficiency. That's why it's a wise multitasking. But if you, for example, drive a car and watch drive a car, yeah, it's a physical one. It's also visual, visual stimuli. And if you drive a car and watch a TV, also TV, a stimuli, or scroll through the social media or read something, it's also a visual brain ability. It's no good use. You use only one neural path, and it's bad. You can't perform them both with a good quality, with the same quality. That's why you should stop doing it and perform only a single task. Yeah, that's not wise multitasking. But if, for example, you cook something and watch a TV or listen to the TV, my mother usually does it. So that's fine. You can do it. So can you please type in the chat box which activities would you like to multitask and which you practice or multitask right now? Not right now, or maybe right now, yeah, during your studying, during your just a day working process. Please, welcome. Okay, Dasha, very good. Deadline worked for me before the deadline. Yeah. Igor, I have the same. I have like the same situation, and when I'm pressed to the wall, when I'm thrown at the deep end, when I just keep floundering like a fish out of the water, because my deadline is like here. It's like right at the corner, and oh my God, no! I work nonstop. No management techniques, no time management, nothing. Just working nonstop as quickly as possible, as high quality as possible, because I don't want to redo anything. That's why. Yeah, that's a very bad stuff that can be. Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay, so when speaking about time management, sometimes we need to prioritize. And sometimes when identifying our frog or identifying some minor tasks, we have to prioritize what to do the first, what to do the next, what we can skip, what we can delete from our plan. Can you please type in the chat box while listening to me, what usually is your top first priority when prioritizing or planning? And have you heard anything about Eisenhower box or Eisenhower matrix? It's usually called. Very good. Math homework and listening to the audio book. The results were good. Oh, wow, interesting. Audiobook. Oh, well, for me, it doesn't work. Cooking and watching YouTube, yes. Drawing and while watching video. Visual, why not? Yeah, listening to music, yeah. I do it's watching some interesting videos and eat, yes. That's my top task to do. eating and watching something. My boyfriend, for example, he can't he can't eat anything without finding the right or the interesting video on YouTube. He can't do it. He can't eat. I can't exercise in the gym without listening to music. That's just insane. So boring. I feel that I'm bored. I don't feel the energy. I don't feel the enthusiasm inside me. This adrenaline. Okay, so the Eisenhower method. Yeah, this is the funny guy Eisenhower. It seems to me he was the president. It seems to be, yes, he was the president of the USA or something, or he was the in the Congress somewhere. So it's a matrix. It's not a box. It's a matrix that is divided into 4 simple parts, but they are so logical. They are so interesting how people can manage to do that. So the name itself, Eisenhower, he was, yes, I was right. He was the 34th president of the United States. And before becoming the president, he was involved in the force in the US Army during the Second World War. That's why he had to make tough decisions, and he had to take them usually. And there were a lot of tasks throughout the day that he had to do. That's why he developed. He ended up developing and inventing his renowned principle around the world. So he prioritizes everything by urgency and importance, that you can see, urgent and important. Yeah. So how to use it? Let's have a look how to use it. The first quadrant or the first box is called do. So the first box is do the first, or do first, do it now. They are important for your life and career and need to be done today or tomorrow at the latest. You could use the time, you can use the biggest chunk of your time on this task, and you have to do it as much as possible. For example, this is the task that can lead you to some problems when you don't do them. Some tasks that are given from your manager, some tasks that are given to do for the grades at school. So you can have some problems that are difficult to solve. That is. After that, the second is called schedule. Its tasks are important but less urgent. You should list tasks you need to put in your calendar here. They can be long planned activities or can be restarted activities. For example, these tasks also have some bad results when you don't do them, but they can be in the long run. So you have some time to do them. That's why break them into pieces. The third one is delegating, my favorite part. Delegating quadrant is less important to you than others, but they still are pretty urgent. So the best way is to keep track of them and to delegate tasks. by emailing, by meeting somebody, by asking somebody to do that for you. But be careful, because you have to be always aware of these tasks. And the next quadrant, my favorite also, don't do them, delete, eliminate. They shouldn't be done at all. Your progress won't be influenced. So discover, stop bad habits, kick them. This can be distractors, internet surfing, gaming too long. Of course, it's good to game, or watching a YouTube. Somebody wrote that watching a YouTube for a long time, when you finish doing something while watching a YouTube, then switch the YouTube off and get back to the work. Yes, exactly. And the last one, procrastination. Procrastination is avoiding tasks, putting them off, postponing to do some more pleasant activities throughout the day. So you postpone your frog, you postpone some unpleasant activities to do something more pleasurable. And then you end up just lying on the bed, and the deadline is right behind you, saying you, why don't you do, or why haven't you done it earlier? So can you please type in the chat box, what do you most often procrastinate, and what is your favorite way of procrastination? I will tell about myself that my best way of procrastination is just doing nothing, is watching some live or reality, real life YouTube videos, like people are working somewhere. When people are working somewhere, and taxi drivers, or what problems they have usually at work. So that's my best way of procrastination, like that. It's a good one. Okay. When talking about procrastination, also it's very good to talk about this young lady, Zygarnik effect, the effect which was called after her, under her disguise. And it suggests that not finishing a task create mental tension. So the feeling of blame, this one, your most felt one. And the only thing that will relieve this tension is the closure brought on by accomplishing the task. The phenomenon proposes that making a start on something, no matter how big or small, making a leap towards something, keeps it ticking away at the back of your mind until you reach the end. So no matter what you need to do, just get it started, and your brain will not let you procrastinate anymore. That's the Zygarnik effect. Just start doing, just stand up, get back to work and start doing it. You will end up with the ready-made first step of your success. And the last one, stop saying I don't have time, and very soon you'll realize that you have time for almost everything you see fit to do in life. That's our favorite Will Smith about the stuff that we talked today. So please type in the chat. See you soon. Take your time. And please, can you write in the chat box your questions that you have for me? Let's discuss some of them. I'm okay now. Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's fine. Watching films, good, good. Okay, yeah, very good. Watching films. I think that homework and watching films is quite it's a bad way of multitasking because usually when doing something or doing my homework or lessons, I mm, somehow I can't concentrate. That's why. Okay, I see my best watching videos on YouTube on everything, just lying and thinking like I will do it through after or in 10 minutes. Yeah, in 10 minutes it's always a lie. Of course that's always a lie. Yeah, that's the you need to tend to Zeigarnik effect. Just start doing something, make a leap, make a jump, and start doing something. It will motivate you. It will motivate you to continue, to keep on working. That's the reason. Okay, well, no questions. Good. Thanks a lot for today. You are a very good audience. Thanks for people who took part in the webinar. I will put ticks that you have taken and you were active. The most active people will get the prize in the end of summertime period. Take care. Have a nice weekend. See you next week. Bye-bye.